Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, amigas, and welcome back to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. I am over the moon, excited, out of control, because we have Marie Esparza-Smith right here with us. Oh my goodness. And Marie is not only the most phenomenal woman, she is the kindest human being, and she happens to be a multi-millionaire, amigas. Yes, she is a multi-millionaire, Latina. Oh my God, I am over the moon that she's here with us. She's been the CEO and founder of several companies. She's a notorious entrepreneur. She's a best-selling author. She's a philanthropist. She's also an executive director of a documentary film that is coming out in the fall that we're going to talk about that afterwards. My goodness, this woman is, she's got such a long list that I just think that it would be best if she tells you all about that. So thank you so much, Marie, for being here with us. Welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast.
Well, Jackie, thank you so much. I am beyond excited, over the moon to be invited to be a part of this. And you're sweet. Your words are sweet. And I am excited to share what worked for me in the hopes that it works for others.
Oh, absolutely. And it will definitely. So let's get started. So here's the thing. You have such a huge list of accomplishments. But before we talk about the accomplishments, you have a pretty amazing journey to get there. And I know, and I would love for the amigas to know about your journey, because you weren't this multimillionaire from the beginning of life. Nope.
No.
You actually come from really, really humble beginnings. And I think it would be important for us to go there first so they can get a whole perspective about you. So please tell us your background, what happened, your journey, what was the breakthrough?
So I was raised in the city of La Puente, which is about 20 miles east of LA. My mom is an immigrant from Mexico, and my dad is from Texas, Spanish-speaking home. So Spanish is my first language.
Yes.
And both of my parents, boy, are just the hardest working people I've ever met. And put in us, I have two brothers and a sister, put in us the desire to do better and be better. And from a young age, my mom would tell us, you know, you can be and do anything you want in life. And it really resonated with me to see that, you know, my dad retired now as a truck driver and my mom was a homemaker. And they both worked as a team to give us a great life. Humble, but we never really wanted for anything. And, you know, we didn't know if we were rich or poor. We just knew we were. Yeah. And we always had enough. And as I got older, my mom would tell us a story of how her parents died when she was 12. And she came to live with her brother and then subsequently her sister from Mexico. And she just had this dream to live the American dream. She wanted to become a citizen. She wanted to get, you know, her citizenship, learn English, get married and have children. And that journey and that dream was so real to her that she, you know, endured being molested by her sister's husband at a young age. And despite that, you know, being in a country where she didn't know the language and she didn't have parents anymore. And I remember as a child thinking, I don't even know how I would begin to survive that journey. And I would ask her, Mom, what made you keep fighting? What was your why? And she would say, Mija, the future of my unborn children. I had that dream for you kids. I wanted better for you. And she did. She learned English. She became a citizen and met my dad. They got married and she wanted children. So She ended up having 2 girls and a boy, and then they adopted my youngest brother. But um, going back and hearing her why and realizing that she sacrificed so much for the future of her unborn children that it was very natural for me to want to live my life as a thank you and to say, you know, Mom, you went through all of that so I could have a future. And that's what drove me, that I was going to have a future that was going to be as a thank you to her. And that when I got to a point that I wanted her and my dad to have a life that they couldn't give themselves. So that's the quick version of the why and growing up.
Oh no, that's beautiful. And now your life is about thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I love that. I love that. Now, in this, this journey, because I sort of share the same kind of journey because I'm also first generation Mexican American. So, what immigrants come to this country, it's a huge deal. It's a big sacrifice. Not knowing the language, not knowing the people, the customs, the culture behind being
Right.
American. So it
Right.
is a struggle, and I know, just also because the same thing with my family. But here's the thing. What I love is that your mom said the future of her unborn children, that was her why, and you took that as like, wow, what a blessing. I'm going to live in gratitude for her and for your
Yes.
future kids, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. I'm
Yes.
super honored. So now, you're growing up here in La Puente, and as you're navigating waters, you go through high school, and you eventually meet someone that is important, that was pivotal in your life, right? And you married, I believe. And
So, so at 23, yes, um, I didn't go to college after high school. Um, Culturally, the cultural belief system was very strong in our house, and I was to get married and have a man take care of me. So at 23, I got married, and that quickly fell apart. Well, not quickly, it was 8 years before I got the courage to get a divorce, but it fell apart, and it wasn't the idealistic life that I envisioned for myself. Uh, we struggled. We weren't bad people. We just were not a good combination together. And I, after 8 years, decided that it was enough. It wasn't the life goal that I had. It wasn't in line with the purpose. And it just wasn't working. There was no God in our marriage. So I got a divorce, and I found myself broke and broken. I was part of a religion that didn't agree with getting a divorce. So I paid a price by getting excommunicated, and in an instant lost my marriage, lost my family, my friends, and really found myself 22 years ago very broken and broke. And I, my desire to thank my parents was so strong that I thought, here's an opportunity to really make a shift, because what I'm doing hasn't worked. And I'm now 30, and and I have nothing. And this isn't the life I envisioned for myself. So I started the work on myself and figuring out what was it that what did I want? Like, who was I at this point? And what happened to that little girl who had all these dreams? I was going to buy my mom and dad a new car, and I was going to buy them a house, and I was going to, have kids, and I was going to live in a mansion, and I was going to serve the world and make a difference. And I just started reading books, Jack Canfield, anything I could get my hands on. I read everything he wrote. Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, all of these great people, Oprah. And I remembered my why. I wanted my mom and dad to live long enough to see the fruits of their labor through me. So God became definitely my best friend. I've always had a strong relationship with God and love him like he's, like he sits by me. I talk to him all the time. To this day, it's a guiding force in my life. So I decided that I was going to order my life, if you would, just like you order when you go to a restaurant. With that much detail, I was going to order my life. I was going to order my children, and I was going to work very hard for the future of my unborn children, along with my family. So I just started ordering where I wanted to live, what house, what car, how much money I wanted in the bank, all of that. My next husband, I shared this many times before. I loved John F. Kennedy Jr. Like, I just thought he was the ultimate man. Yeah. And then he got married and then he died. So that was not going to happen for me. But I had a picture of him on my vision board, and I ended up meeting my husband, who was my boss at the time. I'll backtrack a little bit. While I was doing all this work on myself, I went back to school. So I got my degree and I became a teacher. And I figured I was going to invest in myself to get myself to a point where I could make all of these things. I figured if I asked God for these things, I got to put myself in line that he could make it happen. Yes. I wasn't going to be a tonta and sit there like, give me, and I do nothing with it.
Yes, you got to take action. You can't just even all the time. You actually need to put effort behind it.
Right. So went to school and still working on my order. What do I want? My free time, I would read books at Barnes and Noble. I would read as much as I could and do a lot of work on my mindset and move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. And met my husband now. I met him 20 years ago. And I had a picture on my vision board of John F. Kennedy Jr. riding a 10-speed with a baseball cap on backwards. And I had gone into work on a Saturday, and he pulls into the driveway of our school on a 10-speed with the baseball cap on backwards. I was like, oh my gosh, this is, Twilight Zone like. Yeah. So anyway, I'm moving forward. My ex-husband had left him our house. Well, he was losing it. So I got it back. It was, underwater, no value to it. And again, my prayer to God would be like, God, if you bless me with abundance, I promise you, I will make a difference in this world. I will help people. I will subsidize rents. I will give. I will bless instead of, taking. So that little house, I took it back. Within a year, it had doubled in value. And then a few months later, it doubled in value again. So I had read everything Robert Kiyosaki wrote and thought, okay, rich people become rich through real estate. So I'm going to put this into practice. So I borrowed some money off that first little house and I bought a second home. And no lie, those things went from, I owed $150 on my first house. I sold it for $525. Wow. I was like,
oh my!
I was like $500,000 in my pocket practically.
Can I get one of those deals?
Yeah. I know all day long now I would buy houses at $150,000. So my second house, my goal was to be a millionaire by the time I was 40. And when I turned 40, my second house and the other little investments were worth over $1 million. So by this time, I'm married to my new husband. I have 2 houses under my belt, worth over $1 million now. And I thought, okay, future of my unborn children. What do I want for my children? So you watch TV and even though it's not real, it's a good fantasy, a good dream to have. And I thought, I want to pay for their college education. I paid for my own, but I want to pay for theirs. I want them to have the opportunity to go wherever they want and not have to worry about money. I also want them to have a house. I want them to start off where I leave off. So, and that's just me. I want them to have a house. I want to give them a beautiful wedding. So those were three big things that I thought, okay, how much money is that going to be? So I figured it's probably like $2 million each. So then I started doing the math. How many houses do I need to buy to be able to have that for them? And I put it on my vision board. I put pictures. I did an order. This is what I want. I wanted to buy my parents a house. I wanted to buy them a car of their dreams. And all of a sudden, and I kid you not, it just started happening. I would get a contract. I would, the money came from the value of my house. I would, dabble in, dear God, I need to make another $3,000 a month. And then I would get a phone call from a realtor. Amory, we have a deal. We have a triplex, $40,000. You need to decide right now if you want it. I'm like, yes, I want it. And then how much is it worth? They're like, if you fix it up, it has no roof right now, but fix it up, it's worth $320,000. Like, oh, wow, that math works for me. So, it was stuff like that. And if I didn't live it, I wouldn't believe it. But it all happened because I was very clear on what I wanted and who I wanted it for and why I wanted it. So fast forward now 22 years, I've been able to buy my mom and dad their house. They're on their second house that I bought them. This one, the first one was a little small. This one's on an acre, and it's like the ranchito that my mom grew up in. Her backyard. And one day when you come and visit me, I'll take you to see her because she's got
I can't wait.
fruit trees galore and rose bushes galore. And she's 81 years old and she never sits still. My dad is 82 and they're as active as can be. They have a nice big piece of property. I've had the opportunity to buy them cars and take my dad to the Mercedes dealership and say, pick the car you want.
Oh my
And he'd
God.
look at, Mija, I'll get the C-Class. I'm like, the C-Class, Dad? You really feel like you're a C-Class type of man? No, Mija. I said, go look at all the cars. What class do you think you are? I really like the S-Class, Mija. Then order the S-Class. Get the S-Class. So I got to buy him 3 of them, which has been fun. He's getting older now, so now they have a smaller Mercedes. But to live a life where you do for others as a thank you has been magical for me. And I can go on and on with what is it you want? Be clear about what you order. When I met my husband, I was teaching full time. He was a school administrator, and we liked each other. We started dating, and then he says, "I got to tell you from the get-go, I can't have kids." And I was like, "It's okay. I didn't have kids the first time around. I'm a teacher. I'm around kids all the time. I don't need kids."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, but I just want to be really clear." Well, my husband's adopted. He was adopted into a family with 3 other children. And then in his first marriage, he adopted 2 children. But he's such an amazing, amazing man that I remember driving into my garage where I had my vision board, right where I would park my car. And I said, "Dear God," I said, "it's me again. I would love for my husband to experience being a father to his biological children because he's such an amazing man. He's John F. Kennedy Jr. in another body.
Wow.
He's smart, he's educated, he's loving, he's sports minded. And I remember thinking, this is a big one. So I put a picture of a little girl on my vision board. And he saw it one day. He goes, Amory, I can't have kids. I said, I know, but you know what? I'm a Spanish speaking Latina from La Puente who's now a millionaire. Like, if that isn't mind blowing miracle,
Right.
nothing is.
Exactly.
So that was the big part.
Yeah.
This one, having a baby, not a big deal. Sure enough, I'm pregnant.
Yes.
I'm pregnant. And I remember I didn't even know I was pregnant for 6 months. It was the best pregnancy ever. It just, every bit of it was exciting. So she's born, and the cutest moment, watching him cry as she's, I had to have a C-section. So she's screaming her little lungs out, and I hear him. He says, "Caitlin, it's Daddy." She looks over at him and like reaches her hand for him. Oh, that just was like, dear God, this, if life ended today for me, it was perfect.
Oh my
Perfect.
goodness.
So we come home, and I had a picture of a little boy. So I'm not even in the house yet with Caitlin. I put the picture of a little boy, and he looked at me like, Anne-Marie. I said, at first time was hardest, buddy. Having a boy is going to be easy. Caitlin's 3 months old. Sure enough, I'm pregnant.
Oh my
And it's a boy.
Y eso
So,
que no podía tener hijos, ¿eh?
I know. So I'm pregnant with Michael, and fast forward now, Caitlin's 17, Michael's 16. And I tell people, I love the title of your podcast, Get Your Shit Together. What is it that you want? Take total responsibility for the way you want your life to turn out. Your dream, your journey, your life. People tell me all the time, you don't, you should give your kids so much. They're my kids. Since they were little, at 3 and 4, I gave them allowances, and I taught them how to wisely use their money, how to spend it, because I knew I was going to leave them a lot of money, and I wanted to see how they were going to use it. So I know I'm giving you like tons and tons of stuff, but the point is, like, own your life. Yes. Own it.
Own it. Own it. Own it. Own it. And
Yeah.
it's so true. It's so true, because here's what I have, as you know, we're Latinas, and there's always these limitations. No puedes. No es posible. And it's like a constant, never ending impediment after impediment after impediment. And what you're telling us today is like, take that away, throw it in the wayside, because that doesn't count. What God wants is what you want, and know your why and be damn clear about it.
Yeah. And if you have the dream, he's already figured out how to make it happen. Right. But breaking those cultural pieces, because, I was getting my master's degree, and it's cute. If you met my mom, she's under 5 feet tall. And she says, Mija, men don't really like smart women.
Wow.
I know. And she says, why don't you just marry somebody? He'll take care of you and have kids. And I said, Mom, the right man is going to love my brilliance, and he's going to benefit from my brilliance.
Yes.
And when you start to break those cultural cages, if you would,
yes,
the world opens up. And if you ask my mom and dad today, aren't you glad that I broke out of that cage and I broke that cultural belief? Because they have the life they want for nothing. We've taken them on fabulous vacations. They fly first class everywhere they go. That, at first my dad would say, we were going to Fiji. Are we flying regular, Mija? I said, no, Dad, we're flying first class. And even for me, getting used to that was difficult, because I was so broke and broken that and I lost everything. I had a bag of clothes 22 years ago, that you get scared of, what if I run out of money? Or what if maybe I shouldn't spend the money. And then after a while, it's like, I can't believe that way. That scarcity mindset doesn't serve me anymore. It doesn't serve anybody.
Nope. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And you are a testament that it doesn't serve anyone. Here you've
right?
been really, I mean, this is, oh God, this is so amazing. It's like you are in service for the greater good.
Yeah,
And you made that a priority. That is like a priority in your life. And that's why you are rewarded for
yeah,
your kind acts, for your great deeds, for everything. And
yeah,
I believe that as Latinas, amigas who are listening out there, be clear and always remember that
yeah,
your source has you taken care of already. It's been done.
yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You
I
know,
wanted to, there's a quote that Oprah um, said, and I absolutely love it. Um, she says, what material success does is provide you with the ability to concentrate on things that really matter. And that is being able to make a difference, not only in your own life, but in other people's lives.
amen to that.
And I thought, that's exactly what it's done for me. It's changed the trajectory of our family's life. It's um, it's been a huge thank you to my mom and dad, for especially my mom. Like, I'm sorry you went through what you went through, but thank you. My mom's sister was a huge influence in my life. She worked a minimum wage job her whole life and was able to buy a house. And I remember her telling me, Mija, do better than I did.
Mhm.
And when I didn't feel like going to school, when I didn't feel like getting that second degree, I thought, Auntie sacrificed so that I could do better. And what a waste of my life if I do no better than she did. If I don't increase my education, if I don't increase my resources, if I don't increase the value or the blessing to others in this world, then her life was in vain. And I took that really serious. Like, I have to live my life as a thank you to these two amazing women.
Wow, wow, wow. And you certainly are doing that through
Oh,
everything that you've been doing. You
yeah.
know, there's along the lines of thank you. One of the things that you said, because I met you through the book club, and
Yeah.
she was amazing in our book club. The book club's called Badass. I think Badass Book Club,
I
and
love it.
our guest there. And one of the, and she we read her book. And for amigas out there, you should definitely read. This is one of many books that she's been on. It's called How to Be Crazy Amazing During Difficult Times. So it's so apropos for this time, this era. And one of the things that she said in the book club that resonates with me and resonated with the rest of the members of the book club was that not only order the life you want, but also order for the good of others. And that's precisely what she's been doing, ordering for the good of others.
Yeah.
And I thank you and I honor you for that. And, can you tell us more about all these crazy, amazing things that you've been doing? That I know you're now an executive producer for a documentary that's coming out in the fall. There's so much. So let's talk about that, because I know this is going to be very an eye opener, and it's going to be something that we amigas should go take check it out, because it's happening, right?
Right, right. So, one of the key pieces is, what do you want? And I'm going to tell you, as sure as I'm sitting here, it's so hard to figure out, what do we want? Um, and it doesn't matter what cultural society you're from, what religious background you have. Um, you know, for women, we're innately servers
Mhm.
and givers and nurturers, and to to actually say what we want, without thinking about the kids or the family or all of that is difficult.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, it's so amazing when you figure out what you want, you order it, if you would, you get it, and then you can serve the greater good. So, what is it that you want? What house do you want to live in? What kind of relationship do you want? How much money do you want? What kind of spiritual connection do you want with God, the universe, whoever you believe in? And once you figure that out, order like you would if you go to a restaurant. And I use the analogy of a restaurant. Many of us, and I'm going to go on a limb and say 99% of us say, we'll take whatever.
Yes.
And when you go to a restaurant, if you were to go to your favorite restaurant and they ask you for your order and you say, I'll just take whatever, you are most likely not going to get what you want. You will get what the person taking your order likes or thinks you like, but you won't get what you want. And then you complain that why'd they give me creamed spinach and creamed corn and, hash, something that you just were like, yeah, I don't really like that. But when you don't take responsibility for what you want and you don't order, that's what happens. And I see it all the time. Women complaining about their husbands. And all I think about is, well, that's what you ordered or you didn't order.
Right.
They don't like the car they drive. They don't like their weight. They don't like where they live. They don't like their kids. And I'm just thinking, then you just did whatever. I'll take whatever you give me. And it wasn't what you wanted. I'm going to tell you, as sure as I'm sitting here, I absolutely adore my husband. I love the house we live in. I have 5 cars. I love every single one of them. And I love it as much as I love walking. So it isn't like I'm my material possessions, but I enjoy them while I have them. I absolutely love my children. We've gone through terrific twos to terrific teens. I love every minute with them. I have never, ever had a moment where they're on my nerves or they're disrespectful. But I ordered crazy, amazing children. I ordered a crazy, amazing house. I ordered, I have 7 dogs. And people say, do they fight? I said, no, because I don't expect them to fight. And as crazy as this sounds, they know when they come into this home, you better get along, whether it's a stray or we adopt or whatever. It's what you expect and what you order. So going back to the books, a couple of years ago, I put it on my vision board. I wanted to be an international best-selling author. And I wanted to write a book with Jack Canfield. Like, I just adore that man. If you've ever met him, he's one of the most precious human beings.
So do I. I haven't met him, but I will.
Oh, you will. You will. So he was on my vision board. There was a picture of him and Oprah on a couch. So I took my face and I put it over Oprah's. And I figured one day when I interview with her, I'll apologize for that. But it was the best picture where my face fit over hers and I was sitting with Jack.
I love that.
Long story short, I go to he had this special event where only like 10 people were invited. And you could meet one-on-one with him. You'd have dinner at his house. I did it. And I met Jack Canfield. Nice. I spent 4 days with him in this small group. And I thought he was absolutely phenomenal before I met him. And after I met him, he was absolutely amazing. He asked at one point, we were in groups and he was my partner. He says, if you could have anything, what would it be? I said, I want to write a book with you. And he says, okay, let's do it. So I had the opportunity to be one of the contributing authors to a book with him. And he wrote the foreword for one of my books that's coming out. And we've been in touch. And it all happened because I had him on my vision board and I ordered him.
Wow. So I get the sense that the vision board and ordering go hand in hand, and it is
very much
what you want.
Yes.
And amigas, this is fascinating stuff. It's simple. It's simple, not complicated.
Yeah.
But you get it. Wow.
Get it.
That is awesome.
And the hard part is deserving it. I grew up, my first car was a Volkswagen Bug. And I just loved that car. And I treated it like it was my Mercedes,
Mm-hmm.
washed it, kept it clean. And then one day I got a Mercedes. And then I had a dream of getting a Bentley. I knew exactly what I wanted, and I ordered it with such detail. Um, but before I got the Bentley, one of our staff gifted me with a bulldog. So I named him Bentley because I thought every time I call his name, I'll remember I want that Bentley. And I had a picture on my vision board. Last year, my husband bought me a convertible black Bentley. And I see it in my driveway and I'm like, this is so crazy. Like, who knew this La Puente girl would be driving a convertible Bentley? I still pinch myself because
I'll
it's
know
just,
when I drive down that way, I'll know, oh, there's Anne
like,
Marie.
there she is. There she is. And I think the point is, and I told you I have 5 cars. I don't limit yourself. It doesn't need to be this or that. It doesn't need to be, I can either have my career or a family life. I can either have 1 car or walk. Get what you want,
Yes.
but at your core, who are you? Who's your heart? Because I want people to hear my name and say, oh my gosh, she is the most generous, kind-hearted person. Not, oh my gosh, you see where she lives or her car. All that stuff can go away in a heartbeat.
Right.
But who you are and why you do what you do is the biggest piece. And that's where I get my biggest joy. My joy of sending a random stranger on a dream vacation. They'll never know it was me.
Oh, wow.
Putting, $100 in a little card to a homeless person who doesn't even know me. That's where I get my greatest joy. And I've adopted several people in our community that don't even know who I am, but I give them money in a card at Father's Day or holidays, and I just tell them thank you for the service you give. The homeless person, thank you for the bright smile you always have on your face when I see you. And that's what money does for me. That's what all of this has done for me, and that's where my greatest joy is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Can you adopt me?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, my mom's gonna be like, no, señorita.
One
Oh my
more, one more.
goodness. Wow, this
One
is
more.
just so fascinating. I think many of these out there that are listening to this, like, is that real? Is that- Like they find it so inconceivable that it is so simple,
Yeah,
but it is possible. It is so
yeah,
possible. Look at you. You went from not having anything to building
yeah,
an empire where you've been
yeah,
able to hire more than 600 employees. I mean,
yeah,
really, because you ordered it. You ordered it exactly
yeah.
how you wanted it to be.
Right,
And you
right,
came from the side of service and gratitude.
right.
Beautiful. Wow. I mean, we can talk so long here.
And that's a point, of what's your passion? Where's the dream? Everybody, we all have dreams in our heart. When we were little kids, what was the dream? And don't let it get watered down. Don't don't let anybody take over driving your life. Um, what is it that you want? What's the bigger why? What's the impact you want to make? With COVID now, life is definitely different. Um, it's given me the opportunity to write books, which has been really fun to do. Is that you, Michael? Sorry, I hear an alarm. Um, Go check that. Um, but what is what drives you? What's the and get huh? A 3434. Sorry about that. The alarm was going off.
Okay.
But Yeah, dig deep into your dream. Like if you had no limitations at all, who would you be? What would you be? Um, Create your own rules. Raised in a Latino family, we had a lot of rules
Yeah.
and a lot of don'ts. Um, that I don't have a lot of rules as an adult with my husband and my kids. We just, do you want to eat dessert first? Do it. You want to get away for a weekend? We have a couple of vacation homes. So we go away every weekend. Have fun with that. Align your life too. I wanted to basically retired when I was 40. So I'm 55 now. But I wanted to be in a place that when our kids were in high school, we had the freedom to be with them, do their sports, and run around with them. And that's what we do. Our daughter's junior, our son's a sophomore, and we take them to school. We pick them up. We go to practices. We've arranged our life where um, we don't really work anymore. We do it for fun, but that's all part of what you order. And what do you want? And if tradition says you work till you die, but you decide you want to work till you're 40 and then play after that, then do that. Um, how you have get take your power back and
Yes.
create the life that you want.
Take your power back and create the life that you want. Absolutely. That I
Yeah,
think first step is take your power back, right? I mean, it's
yeah,
when we're so on autopilot. I think we as I mean women in general, but
yeah,
Latinas, I would say because I mean that's what I know, but we're like just for the family, for so and so, for so and so. It's never about me, it's
yeah,
about them. But if you
yeah.
take your power back, doing you will always end up helping them.
Right, right. And living just a happy life. Because at the end of the day, everything we do is so that we can be happy.
Right.
That's all of it. So where is your happy place? What is it that makes you happy? What, for me, my happiness comes in the freedom to choose what I do with my life, choose my time with my kids, choose my time with my family. Um, Most of my brother, my sister and brother-in-law work for our family company. We're inching my brother into working for the family company. And it isn't so much that I want them to work for us. I want to have the freedom to play together.
Yeah.
It's really fun to be able to call everybody up or send a text. Hey, who wants to go to the desert for the weekend? And we all do it. Or, Thanksgiving week, we spend it all together out of town. In the summer, we all go to Hawaii. And I love the freedom that our choices have given us to do that as a family, to enjoy my parents in their 80s and be able to say, where are we going next? And my dad say, let's go back to Hawaii, and do that and have the freedom to do that and create businesses and companies where the family works together.
Beautiful. I think
It's
that
fun.
your life story has a lot of similarities with my life story. And my parents also they managed to, I mean, amazing. They have this amazing businesses, obviously, and because they worked or in the business for a while, they've been able to live the life that they've always dreamt of. And I think that the way you approach it, I mean, I think it's a lot better in my opinion because you actually, it almost seems like it's not working hard. It's just
Right.
serenity. It's free,
Yeah.
it's flowing. And I think that's a better mindset, you know. It doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be grind, it doesn't
No.
have to be from that, hard energy. It can very be easy and flowing with like Michelle Sorrow says, with ease
Yeah.
and grace.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
Beautiful.
And not get stuck that it's hard and like you said, and it's wearing. And I, you know, the best compliment I ever received from my kids a couple of years ago. We're having breakfast and they're sitting there and they're like, Dad, you know, what does mom do all day? Well, you get up in the morning, you go work out, you come back, she takes us to school, and then you go to work. But like, what does she do? And my husband says, I don't know. I don't know what she does all day long. And he's laughing. I looked at him. I said, keep it up, Chuckles. Keep it up. But they had no idea that I worked. And because I was always around, I was there before they went to school and there to pick them up after school. And to this day now, you know, our daughter wants to be a professional golfer and come back and run the family business. And our son wants to be an attorney and come back and run the business. And I'm excited that they want to do what we do. And our daughters, I want that company, Mom. I want to work like you do. I want to get married. I want to have children. I want to make money, but I want to, you know, still be there present for my family. And I think that's been the best compliment, that they want to follow in what we do because they enjoy the life that they have.
Yes. Amen.
Yeah.
Those
So,
are really resilient kids. They really
yeah.
honor you. They
Yeah.
are also paying it forward like you know, how you said, thank you, mother. Thank you, mother.
Yeah.
And it's the same way, which is beautiful because that's a testament of you raising these resilient children, these crazy, amazing kids, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, super excited. Well, as we transitioned into the end of our episode here, you know, one of the things that I ask all my guests is if you could give us one or two tips on how an amiga can handle her shit, I'd greatly appreciate it.
I love that title. I love it. So, what I would say, from one Latina to another, from one woman to another, from one mother to another, from one wife to another, is own your life. Own it. There's you, and don't limit yourself with, I can either be a mother or I can have a career. Um, you you were born to answer a question. Figure out what that question is and you find your purpose
Mm,
and live your purpose, because it's so much more fun to be in a relationship where you're a partner to your husband, you're a partner in raising children, you're a partner in the finances, and you work together as a team to build an incredible family and grow that. But it comes from you believing that you can have it all, that you can have everything you order. And when you do it well, it's easy. I don't do anything that's work. I don't do anything that's hard. From buying a car, if it's hard, forget it. Buying a house, a property, the minute it starts hard, I'm out.
yeah.
I'm out. It has to be easy.
Easy.
And the best things in my life have been the easiest. And um, get out of this mindset that marriage is work. Well, if your marriage is work, you're married to the wrong person,
Right.
because marriage should be like being with your best friend. You get to talk to your friend every day. Something good happens, you want to share it with them. And when you're partners at something, it's fun. Raising children should be fun. If you don't like your kids and they're on your last nerve, own it. You messed up. So let's fix it. Order the kind of relationship you want to have with your children. Order the kind of relationship you want with your family. Order the kind of relationship you want with your parents. But my best advice would be, take total responsibility for your life. Own it. Order what you want, and don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't, oh, it's, and it's, I'm such a, when I hear people say, I'm just such a simple person. I like that's crap. Nobody's simple. That's just an excuse. We all want choices, and we all want happiness, and we all want good for the greater good.
Good for
Put
them.
yourself in line to get that.
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness, amiga, this was amazing. Wow. Yes, I'm like, order what you want. You know, marriage is not work. If it is, get out of it. Get out of it.
I know.
It's simple. It's simple. It's so
Yeah.
simple.
And your relationships, you are you're the average of the 5 people you're around. It should be fun. And I'm 55. I'm not into drama anymore. I'm not into working at relationships. And I don't play those games anymore because I don't want to make the time for it.
No, no.
But when you own your life, then you design it the way you want it.
Mm,
Yeah, are there problems that come up? You bet there are. But when you have an abundant mindset, you know that there's always an answer to figure it out.
yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. Thank you. Order your life, design it the way you want it. Thank you.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
inspiring words. And amigas, please, 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 really, when you listen to this, take stock and really dig deep. Order what you want. Don't limit. Look at this wonderful, beautiful woman here. Anne Marie is like the woman that ordered her life completely, completely. And it can be done. You see, her life wasn't what it is today, but she ordered it and she got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so
I,
much, Anne Marie.
this has been such an honor.
No,
And,
the
you
honor
know,
is mine. Oh
you
my,
can go to crazyamazing.com and we have free downloads. The book is available as a free download. I'm all about giving people access to resources and information, and do better. We've got to do better and pay it forward, and give people the best you have to give, because then God gives you his best.
ooh,
So don't hold back. Give the best you have, best of your time, the best of your resources, the best of your knowledge, and then God backfills it with the best that he has. So
oh my goodness. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I can't wait to meet you in person.
I
When the
know.
nightmare of this virus is over, we
Yes,
are going to
we
meet.
are. Yes, absolutely. Amigas for life.
Amigas for life. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
thank you, thank you, thank you. This is amazing, and I'm honored and humbled.
Oh, likewise, my friend. Likewise, amiga. Have a fantastic day.
You too.